In a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and flowing rivers, there lived a family that embodied simplicity and faith. Their home was a humble clay hut with a thatched roof, set amidst the beauty of nature. It was no mansion, yet it held within its walls warmth, love, and an unwavering belief in the goodness of life. This family consisted of Mira, a hard-working mother, her two young sons, Arjun and Kiran, and her elderly father, Ramji. They had little in terms of wealth, but their hearts were filled with gratitude. For Mira and her family, each sunrise was a blessing, and each evening they gathered around their small hearth, whispering their thanks to the heavens. Life in the village was peaceful yet challenging. The days were long and the struggles were many. Mira spent her days washing clothes for the wealthier families, hands wrinkled and raw from hours in the cold water. Her eldest son, Arjun, a young boy barely in his teens, ventured daily into the dense forest, gathering firewood that he sold at the market. And little Kiran, who was only 8, tried his best to help by collecting wild fruits and berries to sell for a few coins. Despite their tireless efforts, there were nights when their stomachs rumbled as they went to bed with barely enough to eat. But Mira never let these hardships cloud her spirit. She would look at her children, tired yet full of innocence, and whisper softly, "Do not let go of your faith, my dear ones. The universe watches over us, and God has plans for those who hold on to hope." Her words were like a lullaby, a gentle reminder that no matter how dark the night, dawn was always on its way. Seasons changed, and so did the village. With each passing year, the gap between the rich and the poor grew. The once close-knit community began to fray as the wealthier villagers focused only on themselves, turning a blind eye to those in need. People became distant, preoccupied with their own lives, forgetting the shared kindness that once bound them together. Yet through it all, Mira remained steadfast. She never allowed her heart to harden, continuing to help others, even when her own cupboard was almost bare. Then, one winter, a storm of sorrow blew through Mira's life. Her father, Ramji, fell gravely ill. The cold winds swept through their little home, and Ramji's health weakened with each passing day. Mira could see the pain in his eyes, the strength leaving his once sturdy frame. She longed to bring him medicine, but even the simplest remedy was beyond her means. Every night, Mira knelt by her father's side, whispering prayers into the quiet of the night. Her children watched her, their hearts aching, yet they did not lose hope, for Mira's faith was their beacon. She believed, truly believed, that God was with them, and in that belief, they found comfort. The villagers began to notice the frail old man confined to his bed, and the family's quiet struggle. They watched as Mira worked harder than ever, her eyes hollow from lack of sleep, but still filled with a fierce determination. Some of the villagers were moved, their hardened hearts softened by her resilience. They began to visit Mira, bringing small offerings, herbs gathered from the forest, a loaf of bread, a woolen shawl to keep Ramji warm. Slowly, even those who had once ignored her struggle found themselves drawn to her strength, to the unwavering light in her eyes. As the days grew colder, more villagers joined in, some bringing firewood, others offering a bowl of hot soup. It was as if Mira's faith had rekindled a spark within the village, reminding them of a time when they cared for one another. Even the wealthier villagers, who had once walked past her without a second glance, now stood by her side, touched by her kindness and unwavering devotion. One evening, as the family sat around Ramji, the village healer arrived at their doorstep. He was a man known for his skill, but he rarely worked without a fee. Yet, seeing Mira's selflessness, he was moved to offer his help freely. He treated Ramji with care, using herbs and remedies that he had gathered from far and wide. Day by day, Ramji's health began to improve. The color returned to his cheeks, and a light shone in his tired eyes once more. The family's joy was beyond words. Mira held her children close, tears streaming down her face as she whispered, "This is God's answer to our prayers. Never lose faith, my children. The world may test us, but goodness exists all around, waiting to be seen. And as they rejoiced, the entire village felt a change within themselves. Mira's resilience, her quiet faith, had sparked something profound. The villagers, who had once been wrapped in their own worlds, began to look out for each other once more. They remembered what it meant to be a community, to be bound not by wealth but by compassion and kindness. Ramji fully recovered, and life for Mira and her children slowly grew brighter. Though they still lived simply, they were no longer alone. The village had transformed, united by the strength of one woman's faith. Mira's kindness had taught them all that wealth is not measured in coins, but in the warmth we share, the hands we hold, and the love we give freely to those around us. In that beautiful village, Mira's family continued to live humbly, grateful for each day, each breath, and each act of kindness they received. And every night, as they knelt to pray, they knew without a doubt that they were watched over, not just by the divine, but by the hearts of the people around them. Help keep the magic alive. Like, share, and subscribe to Storyverse Chronicles for more storytelling wonders.